Hello everybody, Mr. the Best Man here, bringing you Dungeon Defenders, Level 5, Servant's Quarter, the level after the boss, and this is where things really get tricky, because you'll see the map is very not symmetrical anymore. So you're going to have basically 5 main choke points, a couple of them obvious, as you saw on the map, and we will demonstrate here. Also on this map, one of the biggest things to be very cautious of is the Necromancer. The Necromancer will heal its ally enemy guys. It will also summon skeletons, and the skeletons can be infinitely summoned, so even if they die, they can come back to life, so you really need to kill that Necro fast. Keep an eye out for them. They have a very distinctive image on the minimap. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set up blockades, obviously, at certain locations. Some of them are going to be very obvious. For instance, this one up here, this is going to be a blockade at top left of the map. Very simple. Blockade for a door. I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than that. You're also going to want to set up one here at this staircase in the middle south of the map. And then you're going to see I dump my money over to Squire Sai, which is Todd, and he puts up his blockades at the bottom left of the map, you can see there, and the bottom right of the map, and then you can see we put a third one here, and those are the locations you're going to want. Now the reason we used his is because they're a bit bigger than mine and they'll have more health. Now, if you're playing by yourself, obviously you're going to have to use your own blockades. If you have multiple characters, then you can use whichever blockades are better. You can also use the Monk's ensnare ability to great effect on this level, because since a lot of the locations are narrow, the ensnare not only will make them slow, but they'll also clump up and get kind of caught on each other, which slows them down even further. Now, you probably won't have much money after all of these barriers that you've put up, but if you have a couple bucks lying around, just throw up whatever offensive towers you can. If you are the apprentice, I would suggest going magic, not magic missile, sorry, fire turret. If you are playing the Squire, the bowling ball, at this point you should be level 15. You shouldn't be lower than that at this point in the game, so you should have all your turrets now, all your towers. But anyways, after the first couple waves, we see here we're at wave 4 or 7 now. Basically what you're doing is the same as always. You're going to want to start beefing up your barricades. And like I said in the past, make sure you cover all your aspects, all your basic conditions, so that you do not get caught with the old pants down. So, for instance, the apprentice, once again, should never just put fire towers or should never just put lightning. You should put one of each, because if a fire-resistant enemy rolls up on your fire towers, you're not going to do any damage. Putting up one of each is the best way to cover yourself of any possible enemies trying to break through. If you're the Squire, obviously you don't need to worry about that. Put up whatever tower you think will be appropriate. Bowling ball tower is really great. I can't deny that. You could also use the slice and dice or the bouncer blockade. For the monk, the electricity is pretty limited in use on this level, just because, just the way the level is, your ores are gonna get just torn through very quickly unless they have a lot of health. As well as the fact that since they're electric, pretty well 25% of the enemies are just going to walk through your ore without taking damage. So the monk will have a harder time putting out damage, but his ensnare ore is really good, and the strength drain ore is really good on this level because it will drain away the strength of the enemy, which makes them hit your barricades for a lot less damage. The Huntress is actually really good on this level because her traps, you can put so many of them down at such a cheap cost. You can literally trap everything everywhere on this map. But otherwise, just keep building up your turrets, keep upgrading them. Your barricade should have priority for upgrades. So when you have the extra money, make sure you upgrade your barricades first, because like I said before, the Necromancers are a pain on this level, and they will clump up skeletons to smash on your barricades if you're not cautious. Now you can see here I'm going around, I'm putting lightning on all of my towers, not towers, I'm putting lightning at all my defenses. We're on wave of 5 of 7 now. And that's, once again, just covering all my bases. I don't want something that's fire resistant to come up and just smash its way through. Now, obviously, that is a very apprentice-only problem. You could, now, the reason I don't use the magic missile, which is obviously much cheaper, is just due to the overwhelming power of the lightning turret. The lightning turret not only does damage per second, but it also stuns the enemy, and it also hits a bunch of enemies. It has an AoE, but instead of being just kind of an area of effect, it is a directed area of effect. It goes from person to person to person. It's not like the storm cloud was, say, in Orcs Must Die. This is more of a chain lightning, so it just goes person, person, person. And it's really, really devastating in groups. And not only is the damage just really good, but since it stuns the enemy, that gives the fireballs even more time to rain death down. So that is why you actually see that combination a lot. It's my favorite combination of turrets, really. It's just absolutely devastating. Now here, this is in the bottom middle of the map right here. This whole zone is going to be very, very heavily trafficked. Don't be surprised if that barricade right there, you can see it there now. Don't be surprised if that zone takes a lot of damage. You're going to have a lot of necromancer problems. You're going to have a lot of just general problems because you're going to have a lot of enemies coming through a very, very small space. Now that's going to be a bit less of a problem if you're the Squire, because once again your stuff is non-elemental and you will have more health overall on your towers. The other classes, Apprentice, Squire, Monk, not Squire, Apprentice, Huntress, Monk, you do need to be a little more cautious. Your stuff's going to get eaten up pretty quickly. Other than that, you really shouldn't have a problem. This map is all just about barricade placement. Once you know where to put your barricades, this map, it's actually really easy. It looks much harder than it actually is. But I'm Mr. the Vestman. I thank you for watching here at Xbox Live Arcade Fans, and we will see everyone next time on Dungeon Defenders.